Hey, I'm Lady, and today I am here with my April reading wrap up. Let's get into it. In the month of April, I actually read 5 novels and 3 graphic novels. So I'll say that was a pretty good reading month. I enjoyed all of them, some more than others, including one major 5-star read. Start with the graphic novel I read. This is Goldie Vance Volume 1. This is Volume 2. And I read Volume 3 on loan by ebook from my library. Goldie Vance, shown here, Goldie is short for Marigold, lives on a resort with her father, and she also lives with her mom, going back and forth between the two. She's 16 years old, and she helps solve mysteries, things that come up missing on the resort, things that happen in her friends' lives, things like that. I really enjoyed this. I can't wait to keep this one going. I very rarely read ebooks, and for me to want to go ahead and pick it up and read Volume 3, that just let me know how much I'm really enjoying this series. The only thing I had to question was, why isn't she in school? She's 16 years old. Of course, she's driving. These stories take place around 1960s, and she is just free as a bird. There's no mentioning of her attending school at all. And I just really enjoy it. I highly recommend this series. Next 2 books are by Attica Locke. This is Blackwater Rising, and this is Pleasantville. These are 2 mysteries from the books 1 and 2 of the J. Porter series, and I really enjoyed these. I have made mention in a few of my reading vlogs how Attica Locke likes to build up a story. So I would suggest, if you get into her stuff, stay the course. It gets better. The ending to both of these books were excellent. This one being my favorite here. It was a lot going on. There is a lot of social commentary that Attica Locke takes on in her writing. One being this one taking place in 1981, and this one came about 16 years later, because I think it's like 95, 96, somewhere in there when Pleasantville takes place. And she talks a lot about the government, politics, big business taking advantage of the little people, the government's role during the civil rights movement and their little sneaky tactics. And it's a lot of layers to her books. I grew to love the main character, J. Porter, and everything that he goes through, him being a struggling attorney, taking on, having a past of his own, changing his life or learning from that experience and becoming an attorney, and now the things he go through, tackling, dealing with politics and all the red tape and all of those type of things. And this was excellent. Next up is Tayari Jones Silver Sparrow. What can I say about this? This was my first Tayari Jones book. I will continue with reading her books just to see where her writing goes. I don't think this was the first one. I think this is actually her second novel, but I will be reading The Untelling soon. This one is told in 2 parts. This one is about a man who is a bigamist, and the first part of the book is told by his illegitimate daughter, and the second half is told by the legitimate daughter. I must say I preferred the first half of the book, and it's so much that can be said about this book and in the mindset of these women. First of all, when I was reading this book, I started thinking about how these women thought this man was a prize. At one point, close to the end of the book, I won't say who said this, but somebody says she can't believe she won. And I'm thinking to myself, she did not win. The one he stays with, to me, is the one that loses. And it brought about a personal story for me, someone who I was really close to. She was going through it with her baby daddy, okay? And he was cheating on her and cheating with this other girl. And her and the other girl got together and they talked and they was like, look, whoever he chooses, the other one needs to just realize she lost and move on. I was like, girl, you better pray he doesn't choose you. This guy was no prize in this book, but I think that wasn't the only thing, him being a bigamist, these women, and the one knowing that she's the illegitimate child, and the other one who thinking that, you know, she has a perfect mom and dad. So it's a lot. I enjoyed it. In the next book I read, Beautiful, Dirty, Rich by J.D. Mason. This one is short. It is a story of a girl who at 19 years old is sent to jail for murdering someone, and she spends 26 years of her life in jail. And upon release, she inherits a lot of money from the person who she went to jail for murdering. I thought this was one of those fast-paced summer type reads. I'm a huge fan of J.D. Mason. This is not her best writing, in my opinion. But if you're looking for something fast and, you know, with a few layers to it, I would say that with the different secondary characters, then I think this would be one that you will enjoy. You know, sometimes you just want to hug a book. You know, you just want to hug and squeeze a book when you finish. This, y'all know I don't use the star rating system at all, except in the case when I know I've read a 5-star book and this is a 5-star book, okay? J. California Cooper, Life is Short but Wide. This book is short and the pacing of this book is really fast, but it covers the life of people in such a way that I have never experienced in a book. We meet two characters who meet in the early 1900s, and we follow 3 generations of their family up into, you know, the 1990s. And you think about, with this book being as short as it is, J. California Cooper does an excellent job in pacing the book. And there's actually a narrator telling the story of these people. And fantastic is what this book is. It teaches you a lot with that pace of the book. And given the title, I said this, for some reason the title, I just love the title, Life is Short but Wide, because when you think about it, over the span of life, you know, I think about me being 36 years old. A lot has taken place in my life, but still 36 years is just a drop in the bucket, you know? And that's what you get when you read this one. I love this book. I will reread this book. J. California Cooper, she deserves all the accolades that she gets from her books. And if you haven't read it, you definitely should. That's it, guys. That is my reading wrap up for the month of April. I hope you all had a wonderful reading month as well. We are moving into spring finally. Yay! So breaking out some different type of books coming up. You know, with the seasons, we tend to, you know, change the different things that we read, the genres and things like that. Or at least I know I do. So that's it for me, y'all. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm Lady, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.